you're in a position of power, you know, you can't be a gatekeeper.
You were the guy. Yeah. You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You f***ed off promo. You f***ed off your promo trips.
Because I got to break Kevin's new record. I got to get back on the stage because this new record that Kevin got, I got to have it back, Kevin.
I've talked to him. Eddie, what the f*** are you doing? Get on stage. I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe. Eddie is still today.
There was a period of tension between comedy giants Kevin Hart and Mike Epps. Epps had, in the past, made critical comments about Hart, even drawing comparisons between him and fellow comedian Cat Williams. However, Hart didn't take these remarks lightly and made sure to address Epps about it. And it seems like Mike is nor afraid to say anything about him. The feud between Kevin Hart and Mike Epps has been ongoing, marked by a series of public exchanges and insults on social media and other platforms. The origins of their conflict might not be widely known, but Epps shed some light on his grievances with Hart during an interview with The Breakfast Club. In the interview, Epps expressed that he perceived Hart as overly sensitive despite Hart's status in the comedy world. I just think, if you're in a position of power, you can't be a gatekeeper. You can't be the police. You can't act like a victim every time. And people can have an opinion about you, he said. Just because you're the CEO of something, or if you have more than the next person, that doesn't mean that a person can't have an opinion about you. Everybody is not going to like you, and you can't be upset with everybody for not liking you. Kevin Hart has revealed his efforts to resolve the conflict with Mike Epps multiple times, yet Epps has continued to criticize the comedian. According to People, Hart once addressed the situation, saying, "All I can say is that you're a sad individual. I talked to you several times face-to-face in attempts to put the BS behind us. I even reached out to you like a man and tried to get to the bottom of your bitterness. When will you realize that my success has nothing to do with you or your journey?" Mike Epps has consistently expressed admiration for comedian Cat Williams. During the interview with The Breakfast Club, Epps emphasized how Williams' antics haven't diminished his star power, stating, "Cat is a star. You can try to talk about him, talk about his habits, or whatever people say he did. Everybody got some habits. Everybody done did something." Years ago, Mike Epps added fuel to his feud with Kevin Hart on Twitter. In a tweet, Epps suggested that Hart wouldn't have achieved his level of success without Cat Williams paving the way. Epps hinted that due to Williams' legal troubles, some perceived him as erratic, creating an opportunity for Hart to take over. "Man, if Cat Williams wouldn't have flipped out, it would be no Kevin Hart," Epps wrote. But the barbs didn't stop there. Epps tweeted several derogatory comments aimed at the ride-along star. This prompted Hart to retaliate with tweets of his own. "I Googled the real Mike Epps just now and my computer said not relevant anymore," Hart posted in one tweet. "Hey, the real Mike Epps, look behind you. I'm about to paste you twice. First Cat passed you, now me," Hart continued. In an interview with Hot 97, Mike Epps discussed Kevin Hart's plans to create a film reminiscent of Harlem Nights, the original movie released in 1989, featuring comedy legends like Richard Pryor, Red Fox, and Eddie Murphy. Hart's vision for the new project involves bringing together today's comedic heavyweights.
Man, me, Cat Williams, Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Tracy Morgan. Oh, come on, man.
Kevin Hart expressed his dream of recreating the Harlem Nights feel for a modern audience, stating in an interview with Complex via Hip Hop Vibe, "My dream is creating that Harlem Nights feel of film today." Epps responded positively to Hart's project, suggesting that collaborating on a Harlem Nights-esque film with Hart would be enough to set aside their differences. "That would actually be cool," Epps commented regarding Hart's project. Despite their previous conflicts, Epps acknowledged the potential of such a collaboration, especially in the context of current issues, stating, "With all the stuff going on right now, with all the racism stuff, it would be good to see a bunch of brothers come together and do something for the fans." However, Mike has suggested that people like Kevin should be afraid of Eddie Murphy, as he is the one who has recently been speaking about all the gatekeepers and many other wrongdoings in the industry.
I think the other music shows like the Grammys, the American Music Awards, and all those awards, those shows pop. And the Oscars has to come at it like that and make the show move.
Eddie Murphy, who has had a long-standing history of grievances with the Oscars, is reportedly gearing up to unveil the undisclosed agreements actors enter into in pursuit of an Academy Award. His concerns about the fairness of the Oscars, claims of the institution neglecting his contributions, and hints at shedding light on some concealed aspects of the prestigious event have fueled his ongoing conflict with the entertainment industry. Yet there is much more to discover about what he has recently revealed.
Pay your taxes. mind your business and keep Will Smith's wife's name out your mouth.
Comedy is a tough art, and earning an Oscar for comedic performances seems nearly impossible. The Academy tends to favor serious, dramatic roles in Oscar bait projects, often overlooking the craft involved in comedic acting. However, this could change temporarily in 2021 if either Sacha Baron Cohen or Maria Bakalova secured well-deserved Oscar nominations for their outstanding work in Borat's subsequent movie film. Nonetheless, even such nominations can't make up for the numerous times Eddie Murphy delivered award-worthy performances in comedies and ended up snubbed.
Turn the heat up. Back there it's nice and warm, but over here, ooh, it's cold as hell and freezing. This is very nice.
And talking about Eddie Murphy has only received one Oscar nomination, and it was for his role in Bill Condon's musical Dreamgirls. Murphy himself has acknowledged in interviews that he may not have exerted as much effort in that film as he does in most of his comedic roles.
One of the greatest, funniest people of all time was George Carlin, and he received this award posthumously.
One performance that continues to be critically examined in hindsight is his work in The Nutty Professor, where he used makeup and prosthetics to portray the entire Klump family. A similar technique was applied in the Coming to America films, particularly in the iconic barbershop scene.
Hey, I ain't saying Clay ain't bad. I'm just saying I stopped liking Cassius Clay once you change the name to Muhammad Ali. What kind of shit is that?
During a conversation with Coming to America director Craig Brewer on the Real Blend podcast, we brought up Murphy's repeated snubs by the Academy, and Brewer shared his insights on why this pattern persists. He said, "It really bothers me, and I feel that it's even more stilted against Eddie because the problem that I think people have with Eddie is that they think that it's easy for him. I'm sure there are many things in Eddie's life that feel easy, but what people don't know is what I see, which is him sitting in his chair, in makeup. He's putting on music, he's getting into a place, he's rehearsing these lines. You see him where he doesn't fool around on set. When you're in between takes, he goes to his chair and you see him get into this trance where he is working and working and working. There's craft there. And I worry that people think that like, oh, well, Eddie's just showing up and being funny, like he's always done. And that's just not true. Yes, he's showing up and being hilarious, but it's not like he's just flipping a switch. Fans believe that it's indeed an unjust evaluation of comedians. And Eddie Murphy is not the sole funny individual to be overlooked due to the Academy's reluctance to fully recognize comedic talents. One person wrote on the internet, "No one ever said Hollywood had morals." The award bid is true. The 1995 movie Heat had one of the most realistic fights ever filmed, and it didn't even get a nomination for the Oscars. Another one added, "For award shows, it's also about campaigning and which studio will spend the most money to wow the jury, like Weinstein famously did. And you didn't talk about the problem concerning chid actors." Craig Brewer highlighted the year when Kevin Kline won the Best Supporting Actor award for A Fish Called Wanda as an example. But for every such victory, numerous outstanding comedic performances, like those by Kristen Wiig or Jim Carrey, are unfortunately excluded from the Oscar race.
And this is the movie that I knew that we were going to have that as well, because you're seeing people that you haven't seen in a long time. I mean, I even remember doing like this push-in on Arsenio Hall.
Craig Brewer expressed the view that when you talk to any dramatic actor or actress, they tend to share a common sentiment. According to him, comedy is significantly more challenging because it lacks the immediate feedback of laughter in the room, requiring a quiet atmosphere. Comedic performances demand a deep understanding of timing and the ability to engage with an audience that isn't physically present. Brewer believed that comedy often involves a higher level of awareness and craftsmanship depending on the material, in comparison to some dramatic roles where characters may resort to more straightforward emotional expressions, making them relatively easier to portray.
Make these films so great. The comedy is funny because the drama's real. And I think that at the end of the day, Coming to America is about family, especially this one, considering his daughter's in the movie.
I'm very pleased that you mentioned that.
The Oscars have faced criticism for not being inclusive towards Black actors, with several controversies tarnishing the award show's reputation. One notable incident occurred in 2019 when Kevin Hart stepped down as the Oscars host due to the resurfacing of past homophobic tweets. Furthermore, the #OscarsSoWhite campaign has called for increased diversity and recognition of people of color and marginalized communities within the industry. This has led to a perception that Hollywood's prestigious Walk of Fame now resembles more of a walk of shame due to its lack of stars representing diversity.
Kevin Hart has stepped down from hosting this year's Oscars. He put out a statement on Twitter tonight saying, "I have made the choice to step down."
Delving further into the entertainment industry, it becomes apparent that colorism is a familiar issue within this domain. Hollywood, in recent times, has come under significant criticism, often propelled by media campaigns featuring hashtags that swiftly disseminate from Twitter to television news. It could be contended that Harvey Weinstein, a convicted sex offender, was among the initial high-profile figures to draw negative attention to the industry. In 2017, a plethora of SA allegations surfaced, laying bare the darker facets of Hollywood's culture.
Documentary that is all about the dark side of Hollywood and how some power players allegedly use their positions to prey on young, aspiring actors.
In the aftermath of the Me Too movement controversy, Hollywood was rocked by numerous scandals. Among these, comedian Kevin Hart resigned as the Oscars host in 2019, following the re-emergence of past homophobic tweets. Simultaneously, the Oscars So White campaign called for enhanced diversity in the Oscars and greater acknowledgement of individuals from marginalized communities. Consequently, Hollywood's reputation has been notably tarnished, transforming the once illustrious Walk of Fame into what might be dubbed an uninspiring Walk of Shame, devoid of stars.
Kevin Hart has stepped down from hosting this year's Oscars. He put out a statement on Twitter tonight saying, "I have made the choice to step down."
In a February afternoon in 1940s America, actress Hattie McDaniel achieved a historic milestone by winning the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in Gone with the Wind, 1940. Notably, she became the first African American to receive this prestigious film award, while celebrating her victory and leaving an indelible mark on cinema history. The joy was tempered by the stark reality that she would be segregated from the rest of the attendees at an Oscar ceremony that effectively operated as a whites-only event. Instead of being a celebration, this event was marked more by segregation than jubilation.
I sincerely hope I shall always be a credit to my race and to the motion picture industry. My heart is too full to tell you just how I feel.
80 years later, the film industry still grapples with a form of routine discrimination, despite some progress in increasing diversity. The 2020 Oscars ceremony was marred by racial controversies that have become all too common for both viewers and industry participants. Major snubs, such as the omission of Lupita Nyong'o for her outstanding performance in the 2019 film Us, exemplify this issue.
And the Oscar goes to Lupita Nyong'o.
Nowadays, this discrimination takes the form of movies and shows, with Tyler Perry being a prominent example. It's become increasingly evident, particularly in his films, that black-skinned actors are consistently cast as villains. A notable case in point is Steve Harris, who portrayed Charles McCarter in one of Tyler Perry's classic movies, Diary of a Mad Black Woman. Despite being a successful lawyer, Charles is portrayed as far from an ideal husband. Shockingly, the character discloses the existence of another woman in his life to his wife Helen and proceeds to mistreat her, eventually evicting her from their home.
See it?
No.
You ain't good for nothing. Find my bank statement and get the accountant on the phone. Then call Calvin and tell him to get over here and you can leave.
Blair Underwood portrayed the character Carlos in one of his movies. Carlos is depicted as a controlling investment banker who exercises dominance and control over his girlfriend in the film. Blair Underwood, known for his role in LA Law, has been a prominent figure in Hollywood for over 4 decades. His career began in the 1980s, and he has seen different phases as a black actor in the industry. Underwood recently shared insights into his early career and his encounter with Oscar-winning actor Sidney Poitier.
And of course, this is what the kids are now calling a classic movie. Black classic movie. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute?
I heard that. I like that. A classic movie.
A classic.
Okay.
During the 1980s, the representation of black faces on screen was rare, and the roles available were often limited and stereotypical, which didn't provide much variety for black TV viewers. Blair Underwood personally witnessed these challenges. He and Denzel Washington were seen as prime examples of black male representation on TV and in film during that era, receiving praise and recognition for their work.
You know, these 4 black women in the hood. And like, now we're gonna do girls in the hood, and there was a little pushback. Like, why they only want to see us as slaves or in the hood and Hollywood.
The challenges of limited and stereotypical roles for black actors seem to persist into the 1990s. Blair Underwood recalled that during this period, virtually every black actor and actress in Hollywood, regardless of their name recognition or skill level, found themselves auditioning for the same roles, highlighting the lack of diverse opportunities in the industry.
Been a history buff like most of my life. I love history.
You do?
I don't know a lot about history, but I love.
Philip Van Leer also got the chance to play a villain in Tyler's movies. He had a prominent recurring role in the first and second seasons of the show as a D dealer.
No. Harry, Brenda, Harry. Hey! Harry's a high school coach.
Ion Overman also appeared as a negative character in one of Tyler's movies named Medea Goes to Jail as Linda Davis. Linda in the movie, an envious assistant district attorney who is engaged to Joshua. She secretly engages in illegal activities such as fraud, evidence tampering, and providing false legal documents involving some of the people she has prosecuted. Ron Rico Lee portrayed Chuck, an assistant district attorney and Joshua's friend in the film. Another actor, Brian White, was signed as a villain by Tyler Perry in his film I Can Do Bad All by Myself. He played the role of Randy, who is an abusive boyfriend and the antagonist of the show.
I seen the way you've been looking at me. See, this here my house, and I can let you and two little nappy boys stay here.
Right.
A noticeable pattern in Tyler Perry's movies and shows is the portrayal of negative characters who exhibit abusive behavior towards women. This trend has raised significant concerns, prompting many individuals to voice their objections. An instance of this can be observed in his shows Bruh and Sistas. Bruh appears to center around the lives of 4 black men navigating various aspects of their lives, including relationships, friendships, and careers. The synopsis suggests that these men share a deep and enduring bond resembling family, even if not bound by blood. However, the concern arises from the portrayal of abusive behavior towards women in the shows, casting a shadow on the otherwise warm and camaraderie-filled depiction of their friendships, as evident from their bright and happy smiles in promotional material.
Says she moving in.
You seem nervous.
I'm a little confused. Wait.
Let's keep it real. Tyler Perry's journey hasn't been a walk in the park. There's talk that his ego may have taken a toll, leading to clashes even with heavyweights like Oprah. In Hollywood, it's often said that you need to play a few questionable cards to make it big, and Tyler Perry seems to be familiar with that drill. After finding success at the box office, Perry transitioned to TV with the hit sitcom House of Pain. However, when it came to securing a lucrative syndication deal and a spin-off named Meet the Browns, things took a messy turn. According to reports, Perry let go of 4 writers who were pushing for union contracts, causing quite a stir in the industry. We're asking all those who had planned to attend the opening of Tyler Perry's new studio not to cross our picket line, said writer Christopher Moore. It's very disheartening considering that this is a studio run by African Americans. What Tyler Perry is essentially saying to us is that you're black, and there's not a lot of opportunities for you, so you'll take what I give you, whether it's fair or not. Sistas seems to center around the lives of 4 independent black women. The tagline "single but never solo" hints at a potential exploration of their experiences navigating the complexities of singlehood. Although the synopsis doesn't delve into their friendships or careers, the promotional image showcases individual pictures of the 4 women rather than portraying them together. The commonality among them appears to be their shared status as single women, suggesting that the series may delve into their unique journeys in the dating world and beyond.
Look at me. You want me? Look at me.
I'm looking.
Karen, I don't love you no more. I don't want to be with you no more.
Criticism for colorism has been directed towards Tyler Perry's film A Fall from Grace. The movie narrates the journey of Grace Waters, played by Crystal Fox, as she embarks on a quest for love following a distressing experience with her ex-husband's infidelity. However, as she becomes more entangled with her new husband, portrayed by Mehcad Brooks, she unravels sinister secrets about him. Grace's vulnerability takes a dark twist, resulting in her facing accusations of murder and fraud, ultimately leading to her incarceration. Through its exploration of themes like love, betrayal, and the repercussions of one's actions, the film has faced criticism related to colorism.
When you wake up, you don't know that today will be the day to change your life.
Grace, please tell me what happened.
So given this, many people believe that Cat is just obeying the orders, however, his own behavior in the industry is not so good as well.
Do you think you're rich?
I'm not rich.
Do you think you're wealthy? Everything stops today. You can live forever?
I work every day.
I said if everything stops, stop!
So you can see that first footage Kevin Hart engaging in a questionable interaction with some individuals he was seated with. If the reports are right, that guy he is humiliating so bad is actually his friend. Now keep that in mind as we tell you of the allegations that have emerged suggesting that Kevin Hart's been screwing over fellow black artists. Seeing the footage above, does this allegation really seem so far-fetched after all? That circulating footage has definitely sparked scrutiny and raised questions about Hart's actions within the community. Just look at what Kevin Hart is telling someone that's supposed to be close to him here.
Me, everything else.
I've had money before you and
Fuck everything. If everything stopped today, can you survive?
Yes.
You're a liar.
My boss, nigga.
Do you have a home?
So after this video went viral, many people have come to believe that Kevin Hart just loves to impose his powers on other black artists.
I can't survive.
Ronald Boss Everline. Ronald, do you have a home?
That's dumb as
Do you have a home?
I've been making money way before this.
Why aren't you answering the question?
You sound dumb.
Ronald.
No, I'm serious.
The video was enough to raise speculations about Kevin's past alleged incidents where he was not seen to be a good man. According to some sources, many celebrities have talked about him and how he is not apparently good for young black artists. Let's start with Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle reportedly shed some light on Kevin Hart's alleged dark legacy and how Kevin can do some inappropriate activities for Hollywood only for the sake of money and fame.
They put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career. I'd be connecting them down like, wow, these brothers gotta wear a dress.
Over the span of several years, Hollywood has faced widespread criticism for its contribution to perpetuating various stereotypes, particularly those that significantly influence the public's perception of black individuals among a substantial audience. This period has sparked a debate highlighting the contention that the limited opportunities available within the entertainment industry have compelled black artists to accept stereotypical roles as a necessary means of sustaining their careers and livelihoods.
Lawrence is the guy that showed everybody you can make it from DC to Hollywood.
Although the entertainment industry hasn't fully attained racial equality, contemporary performers do possess a degree of agency over their choices. What proves intriguing in the realm of these modern figures is their apparent openness to undertake cross-dressing roles, with Kevin Hart's name standing out notably in this context. You can remember when Kevin Hart appeared on SNL dressed as a small girl.
Pope Conventionate is lifting her arms into her signature muscle man pose.
Everybody started criticizing Kevin for being someone whose actions didn't support his words. Before the show, Kevin showed up in an interview and clearly said that he would never do unprofessional activities for Hollywood as other people did in the past. But right after this, Kevin appeared on a TV show irrespective of protecting his brand and dignity. Why this thing bothered Dave Chappelle is because he is a man of dignity and has always spoken for black people in the industry about how they are treated like garbage by Hollywood elite. Kevin doing all these absurd alleged things bothered Chappelle, and he reportedly spilled tea on every single detail of who tricked Kevin to appear like this on the TV screens. Dave claimed that Kevin Hart is being trapped and manipulated by Illuminati and also through Jay-Z. Kevin's actions on that show made people speculate that Kevin and Jay-Z are both part of the Illuminati. With how close those two appear to be, I can't really say I blame them.
It made a shift from money, I'm getting it, what you're not getting, the life that I'm living, to what we as people need to open our eyes to. What we need to understand.
Dave reportedly revealed that he had been deliberately put through stress, but Dave has also shown the nerves of man, and he never let himself sell to some elites. And Dave always denied everything to do that went against his dignity, be it even a $50 million comedy show. Dave said, "I don't want the money, I don't want the drama, I just want to do my show again." Chappelle explained to Oprah Winfrey that the primary reason he decided to leave the program was because he feared he would no longer have creative control over his own talent. "I was doing sketches that were funny, but socially irresponsible," he said. "It was encouraged." This is one of Chappelle's most excruciatingly honest statements, not only about himself, but also about the entertainment business as a whole. And admit it or not, Dave is literally the public's favorite, and his supporters never waver their support. One fan expressed himself in these words, "I love Dave Chappelle and his determination to not allowing the demonic industry, Hollywood, and music. Dear Lord, please protect him." Another fan came up with these words, "We have to surround and support people like Kanye Kanye and others who are woke and refuse to be enslaved. God says, "Do not disturb my anointed. May no weapon formed against any of us shall prosper. No voodoo, witchcraft, black magic, or any other evil spirit shall be sent back to sender judgment, shall be condemned, and all evil sayings will be judged by God." But that's not the only time Hart's name has surfaced in connection with the mysterious group. The comedian's participation in the Illuminati was the subject of much controversy. But the first is someone who has been suspected of being an Illuminati member for a long time: Jay-Z. Some keen observers claim that the two celebrities recently discussed the shadowy group on the comedian's television show Heart to Heart. As they talked about how to give youth more agency, Jay's expression said it all. Jay-Z described how he is broadcasting his experience via Rock Nation. But some viewers think Kevin accidentally revealed his claimed affiliation with the Illuminati when he commented on the room with the door behind it.
You never had access to that sort of information.
I call it the room with the door behind it. You never get to that door.
As soon as Kevin had finished his comment, spectators stated that Jay-Z's menacing glare was sufficient to cause him to stop speaking. If you take into consideration what Dave Chappelle stated about him and what he says about the world in general, you'll realize that Kevin's actions caused a lot of people to worry about the reality of his involvement with the Illuminati and whether or not it was actually true. It is becoming more and more obvious that there is a great deal more going on behind the scenes than these people are able to convey. And Eddie has pointed out that the reason behind such discrimination are undisclosed contracts. Apparently, the actors sign that contract and win the Academy Award, which leads us to the fact that they probably become sellout. The narrative unfolds with more than just a single celebrity sharing their cautionary tale of potentially aligning too closely with the influential figures at the top of the entertainment hierarchy. It's a chorus of voices, led by Denzel Washington. Rather than immediately outing the prominent figures, Washington initiated the conversation by critiquing his colleagues in the industry for what he perceived as their misguided sense of self-importance.
People say, oh, the difficulty of making a movie. I'm like, send your son to Iraq. That's difficult. It's just a movie. It's like, relax.
If Eddie keeps speaking up against all the alleged truths in the industry, one can confirm that Kevin's career will be destroyed in no time, at least given his past history. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.